Okay, so what is your opinion on like spreading yourself too thin? Because now it's like I have in my brain, I've got this thrift store YouTube thing that I want to do. I want to train people still.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I still like doing the online training. That's
Yep.
fun. And I also want to start a clothing company.
Yep.
I've been wanting to do that since probably 3 years ago.
Let me ask you one question. How old are you?
26?
Okay.
I had to think about that the other day.
So my mom told me, she said, work until you bleed, up until about 30 years old.
Yeah.
Because if you really, really kill yourself from 20 to 30, those are the years you can take a beating. Then you will likely be set for life, and you can kind of pull back a bit. Okay? So you have 4 years to murder yourself.
Yeah.
And to truly do everything you want and accomplish everything you want. So I don't agree that there's such thing as spreading yourself too thin. I might agree if someone struggles with maybe their mental health, which is something that's real and something that I personally have dealt with this last year because of all these lockdowns, and it's not necessarily something I've had to deal with before. So that is a balancing act you have to take into consideration. But if you are someone who's going to struggle in that aspect, there's help. And if you are able to position yourself where you spend an hour every 2 weeks talking to a therapist, you kind of fix that problem, and you get to continue to move forward, right? And then you get to continue putting all that positive energy you get after that session back into all three of your businesses. So I don't necessarily agree that there is such thing as spreading yourself too thin, especially when they're passion projects.
Yeah.
When it's something you're in love with, and you start to see the growth, and you start to see things coming together, and you start to see your ideas becoming reality, that's only going to motivate you more and build momentum, and you're going to feel more energized and passionate because of that.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's spreading yourself too thin doing things you hate,
Yeah.
100% you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my opinion, to keep it very simple. It's like, I don't agree,
Yeah.
but that's me personally, and I can't put that on anyone else. I can't assume that someone else is like me.
Yeah.
Right?
I just feel like there's this, I totally get, especially if it's passion projects, that you don't really get tired of doing something you love, for sure. I also feel like on the other end, it's like being an athlete, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Just because your fucking nervous system is so it's like there's only so much energy.
Maybe you need to pull back a little bit on some things.
But I love it.
I know. So
Yeah.
so you have to understand it's like sometimes if you need to put more energy into some specific things, some other areas need to sacrifice short term. And that's a part of being a business owner. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you will always go back to it.
Yeah.
Right?
I have such a hard time slowing down that when I was working at Good Life 7 years ago, I went in for a stretch session, and the guy's looking at me, he's like, you were so high strung that when you crash, when something happens and you slow down, you are gonna break.
Yeah.
Just fucking dominoes.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it happened.
For sure.
Which was fine. But that's I just feel like that me and training are so, I need to do it to feel like me, so that I feel like my mental health is there. That I'm scared to stop, because I feel like I won't.
So what I would say is possibly start trying and slowly take some steps and treading into these other waters, and just pay attention to how you feel. You can get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel burnt out. You can pull back a bit.
Yeah.
Or you can pull back on something else.
Yeah.
Or you can just turn the dampness on a little bit and just get it a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
Do you focus on any types of mental relaxation or things that help you mentally, like meditation or gratitude logs or deep breathing or really hyper focusing on sleep?
Sleep is probably the one.